This is Forces TV. The following programme contains strong language.
Brace up, shoulder movement. So,
it's a job interview like no other, and it's earned the reputation as one of the toughest courses in the British Army. It pushes recruits to the very limits of their physical and mental endurance.
Okay, Joe, get up, stop showing up!
And beyond. And any young man hoping to join the parachute regiment must first demonstrate they have the determination and robustness to pass this gruelling 28-week course, including its legendary test week, P Company.
Well done, 12, come on! Forward! Forward!
During this series, Forces TV has been given unique access as we follow a group of young men taking on the biggest challenge of their lives. Up to now, they've only dreamed of joining the paras. Now, they must prove they have what it takes to be a paratrooper. Not all will make it to the end. Who will achieve their ultimate ambition and join the parachute regiment? The recruits of Athens Platoon have successfully passed P Company Test Week and have earned the right to wear the parachute regiment's maroon beret.
You must observe your safety distance with your blank and any pyrotechnics that you use.
But they're only paratroopers elect and not yet fully trained combat soldiers. Before they can join one of the regiment's battalions, where they could be deployed to any danger zone in the world, they must demonstrate they've got the necessary skills to fight effectively and safely alongside their fellow soldiers. Over 2 exercises during the final phase of their training, the recruits, traditionally known as Joes, must convince the training team they have warrior credentials. Only then will they be allowed to complete their 7-month course and pass out in front of their families. The first tactical exercise takes place in Catterick Garrison. In a mock-up town called Winnie Hill, the platoon, whose number has been boosted by other recruits, have been tasked with seizing a house held by insurgents.
On the grey one, goes in your top left arm pocket.
Using a high-tech form of laser gaming, the men must wear electronic identity tags, along with small audio devices which sound if they've been hit. They must secure the house, taking as few casualties as possible, and will repeat the attack to ensure they grasp everything they're taught. Much of the fighting in Iraq and Afghanistan took place in towns, villages and compounds, and fighting in built-up urban areas is a stark necessity.
It's a very controlled situation. If they start doing their own thing and start getting above it all and getting too aggressive, then it can all go horribly wrong.
Get down from there! I said hold the knife!
Urban warfare is a lot different. You take more casualties during urban warfare, and because there's so many places to hide, rounds can fly through walls.
But do not fucking flinch, get a weapon in shoulder and engage the enemy if you see it.
If someone suddenly hears you in a room, they can just literally spray the wall full of bullets and you could all be dead on the other side.
Move in!
The house is a state-of-the-art facility containing dozens of hidden sensors recording every movement and action.
Number 3's fired through that mouse hole and shot and killed the enemy. 14's just shot and injured number 3.
In the debrief, each recruit is represented by a numbered blue icon.
It was a very good tool to use and show them why you can't get out of control in that environment.
Number 3 was injured, he was shot in the head, so he was lucky. Number 4 was shot in the legs twice and killed, obviously blood loss. Number 6 was shot 5 times.
5?
Yeah, Number 7 was shot in the head, and the enemy was shot twice, once in the head, once in the legs.
For now, it's a form of computer game, but one day it'll be a genuine matter of life and death.
That's out of bounds. All that there is open. Spin that line there.
Taking a house is one thing. Assaulting a large enemy compound is a considerably tougher challenge. But airborne infantry soldiers have one major advantage over their adversaries. They can swoop from the skies and take their foe by surprise.
That was a good feeling. You feel a heap in the propellers and that. It's good.
You don't think the updraft is actually going to be that powerful, but it feels like it's about to knock you over. And when you're on it, as it's turning, the pilot flew it on its side, and you could see the ground in front of you. And we were actually pretty close to the ground. I was thinking, oh crap.
I was nervous a bit though, because he was taking it dead high and like banking from left to right. And I was like, whoa, if this goes wrong, we're fucked.
The RAF's CH-47 Chinook helicopter proved an essential ally in the fight against the Taliban in Helmand province. With the need for surprise and speed, it's perfect for the platoon's objective.
They are getting on a CH-47 as the people that they are trying to emulate do, and deploying into an objective and then destroying the enemy in that objective. And it just made that training seem way more realistic. And they buy into it, and it's great to see.
I felt like a paratrooper, we all did. You know, this is what we do in Afghan. You know, they ride in with Chinooks and we sprint out into the fields and, you know, take enemy positions. You know, I feel like a proper paratrooper now.
It felt realistic that you're getting dropped into battle, straight off the bat in the Chinook, straight into the platoon attack, like what you would do on the day.
Taking a casualty and rapidly carrying him to a helicopter landing strip for evacuation is something many paratroopers have had to do. Now it's Athens' turn. Although this training task has gone well, it relies on simulation. The next one will take it to a much more realistic level.
Two section! Rapid! Fire! Charlie, closing! Charlie, closing!
At Winnie Hill, the recruits only fired blank cartridges and threw dummy grenades. Now, for their final exercise, they must use live rounds and hurl real explosives. If they can perform both tasks capably and without danger, they'll pass and their training will be complete.
The real test phase, and probably more important than P Company itself when you talk about turning out the finished product, is LFTT, or live fire tactics and training. You've got the high tempo, it's louder, there's more chaos, and it's a really good way to finish off the training. And when the recruits do well, it's just good confirmation for us that we've got it right.
We're going to throw the grenade and then bounce.
It's awesome. You know, it's our bread and butter. It's what we love to do. As paratroopers, we'd do that shit every day if we could. And it's the recruits' first taste of it. And it's a great experience for them. And it's it's a really important time for them to show us that they can conduct themselves safely and carry out effective skills and drills on live firing that they will take to battalion on exercise and on operations.
The platoon are first divided into sections, with each one taking turns to assault a position. This involves one team providing covering fire, while another has to quickly flank the enemy.
Get fucking moving now! Get moving! Where have you fucking been? Stand one fucking down! Get fucking down! Hell, get up there! Come on!
You know where everyone is, because you're like, all right, if he steps one bit forward, I've got to go forward, otherwise I could end up shooting him.
I was grenadier for Delta Fire Team, so I had a live grenade in my pouch.
Grenade!
That was good. Having a live grenade go off, literally a few meters from you, you feel it go through you. You feel the force of it.
Get fucking low!
You feel like a soldier, that's the sort of things you'll be doing in operations, like doing section attack, platoon attacks. Like obviously you're going to be firing live rounds at the enemy and like doing all them sort of things. It was brilliant.
After an exacting final phase, Athens platoon are judged proficient and safe to deploy into combat. They have now successfully completed their training. The recruits have reached the end of their 28-week Parachute Regiment training course. To mark the occasion, they will march past their families in Helles Barracks in Catterick Garrison. It's known as the Passout Parade and marks the moment they formally become soldiers. To prepare for this ceremony, the recruits, still known as Joes, help each other with their No. 2 dress suits. Unlike other units in the British Army, the parachute regiments only wear berets, even for the most formal of occasions.
Black ledge, come out front, face the platoon.
The formalities begin with a toast.
What manner of men?
What manner of men are these who wear the maroon beret? They are firstly all volunteers and are then toughened by hard physical training. As a result,
Private Blackledge, who's won the award of Champion Recruit, is given the honour of reciting Field Marshal Montgomery's famous description of British paratroopers.
they have shown themselves to be as tenacious and determined in defence as they are courageous in attack. They are in fact men apart, every man an emperor.
Every man an emperor!
Every man an emperor!
That's a sick coat.
It was emotional, very emotional, because you go marching on, got a bit of lump in my throat, and then I tried not to look at my mum and dad because I knew where they were sat, and I was like, just looked up. I didn't want to look at them because if I looked at them and they were all crying. So yeah, it was a very, very proud moment for me and family. Yeah.
As much as the Joes have got to get it right, we've got to get it right as well. And I've got to make sure they're up to that standard for the families, because their families are watching them. And we want to make the best spectacle of these guys as we can, and their families to be very proud.
Athens Platoon are the latest generation of airborne soldiers. Today's event is a public demonstration that they have earned the right to become members of the Parachute Regiment.
Day one, you don't really take into perspective what's going on and where you are in training, because it's like you're in a bubble, really. And on the Passout, it's like the bubble bursts and you're just there, you've done it. And it was just an overwhelming feeling, really. Everything you've done, everything you've learned, finished, a soldier.
Inspecting the parade is Lieutenant General Jacko Page, one of the most senior officers in the British Army.
When you're standing there next to the bands and yeah, you like, you know, when you're number twos and you look left and right, and we've all worked really hard to be here. Your bayonet's gleaming, you just polished it and that, and you see it all the time on TV, and you don't think it'll be you. And it was a hell of a feeling, yeah.
Unreal day, best feeling ever. You want to walk on the parade square and smile, but you know you can't. You just ruin it on the videos. You just have one person smile and the other one like that. So I just had to keep my eyes off my family, otherwise I'd smile. So that's what I did. It's good though.
Standing on the square with them, leading them on the march past, saluting the general, it's an awesome feeling of pride. To know that you've taken however many guys it was that formed up on day one, but to be able to produce 22 quality men who inspire you because of the hard work that they put in, respect you and understand the discipline and are ready to go and do anything for you is humbling and awesome, and it's been a very great privilege of mine to be part of it.
One of the main things I remember, which just was the best feeling, was before we went on, we were called Joe, and it was like, you know, make sure you stay in step, Joe. Make sure you concentrate, Joe. You know, and well done, Joe. And when you come off, it's well done, paratrooper.
What's happening now then, paratroopers? We're going to put your fucking weapons in the armoury straight away. Then we parade back out, go straight out to the corridor, quick chat, parade outside the block, and we go down to see your families. Okay? And then every single one of you can buy me a pipe.
Will you please be upstanding for the men of 766 Athens Platoon?
You see me nearly fall over? Yes.
It's surprisingly how many families say how much they've changed, how much of a better person they can be. You know, some of these people who rocked up on day one didn't know how to say please or thank you, and now their families are telling us that he's polite. He, he come in and make me a cup of tea, does his own washing. We're not only a changed person in that way, we've also got a potential killing machine. So, you know, everybody's happy.
I think I'm a lot better person now. I respect things a lot more than I did. I'm still the silly, not immature, but still that I like to have my fun and have a laugh and that. So I've still got that side, but I've grown up a bit more now.
Today at Hardwick Hall in Derbyshire, veterans of the regiment's campaigns in World War II are joined by their newest descendants in Athens Platoon to remember and celebrate their actions. It's a chance for the young men to meet fellow paratroopers and hear their stories of courage. They are now part of the airborne family and will be expected to uphold its traditions.
To talk to the person that helped establish your regiment that you have now fought so gallantly through training to become a part of is awesome. To have that character then telling you you're responsible for carrying forward what we started is something else entirely, and it's an impressive and great day for the recruits.
After the fall of France in 1940, Prime Minister Winston Churchill ordered the formation of an airborne force. Hardwick Hall, the former home of Elizabeth, Countess of Shrewsbury, was chosen as its training centre or depot.
It's so important because they need to realise what our forefathers done and how hard it was for them and what they achieved, and to let them look at the standard doesn't change. The war might change, the times might change, but the standard will never change. And we need the same determination and grit as they had back in the Second World War.
From this idyllic English setting, young paratroopers were dropped into the battlefields of Normandy and Arnhem, many never to return. It holds a very special place in the heart of the Parachute Regiment.
The recruits have passed depot now, and no matter who you are, how old you are, or what you did or are going to do, the fact that you are in the Parachute Regiment makes you equal, and that's the idea behind Hardwick Hall.
The platoon commander, Captain Ratcliffe, lays a wreath at the Memorial to Airborne Forces.
We've got a fierce and tenacious history, and that history normally involves us jumping into a war zone or entering that war zone first. And that's something to be proud of. So if I can instill that pride in the recruits from day one and make them understand exactly who has laid the foundations of this fine regiment down before us, hopefully they'll try to buy into that and emulate it throughout training.
The Paras have got such a short history, and yet so vibrant and colourful and just amazing. For such a short time, you know, you can't help but be in awe of it.
As the platoon prepares to march past assembled veterans, dignitaries and visitors, a Dakota aircraft performs a flypast. Tens of thousands of World War II paratroopers jumped from this type of aircraft into the battlefields of Northern Europe. The Germans nicknamed them the Red Devils. Over the last 7 months, the young men of Athens platoon have taken on the biggest challenge of their lives. From the moment they arrived at Catterick Garrison, they were left in no doubt that parachute regiment training was one of the toughest tests in Britain's armed forces. To complete it successfully, they've had to prove again and again they've had the necessary fitness, determination, grit and mental robustness to join the regiment.
Good. Keep it up, good!
Many would suffer injury and be compelled to start rehabilitation. Some would decide a life in the airborne forces wasn't for them. And others had to keep pushing themselves further and further to achieve their ultimate ambition. Out of a starting number of 34 recruits, only 8 have made it to the very end of this one course and can call themselves originals. And these 8 paratroopers have earned the right to wear the Parachute Regiment's famous beret.
It's the maroon machine, you're proud to have this. And every time you put it on, you want to make sure everything's perfect, cap badged in the right place.
It's like wearing body armour. You know, this is my body armour, you know, this is my shield. If I wear this, I feel safe.
Good to finally wear it. Putting it on my head that first day, saying I'll get it one day, got it finally in the end.